All right, it's fine, no problem.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to another amazing episode of Amdoranalytics Bootcamp. My name is Chika, and I will be your host for today. And with me, I have Kolade Adeboyega. I hope I didn't murder your name, right? I have Kolade Adeboyega. Kolade is a youth leader, is a youth and career development expert. He also leverages designs and storytelling to communicate ideas and drive impact. Hello, Kolade. How are you doing today?
All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for that warm welcome, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a great privilege to actually be here today with us. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm so glad for what we're actually going to be having to discuss about, and a lot of value that we'll be getting in today's session. Thank you very much once again.
All right, thank you. So, welcome. If you're just joining us, welcome, and you're joining right on time. So, today is another amazing episode of Amdor Analytics podcast titled "As Certificate More Valuable Than Skills in Tech?" You see, these questions, we get these questions every day. A lot of people keep bagging certificates. Oh, I did this certificate. I have 3 degrees. I have 3 certificates in cybersecurity, in this, in that, yet I'm not getting jobs. So today we are going to be analyzing and we'll be breaking down if certificates are more valuable than skills in tech. And with me, I have an amazing guest. I have Adeboyega Kolade. Just like I mentioned earlier, he's a youth and career development expert, and he's here to break down, to let us know if certificates are more valuable than skills in. So before we dive into the real matter for today, I would like to introduce Amdor Analytics, especially for those who are just joining us for the first time. So Amdor Analytics is actually a leading edtech company, is a leading edtech organization dedicating to empowering professionals and aspiring tech talent through hands-on experience training programs. We specialize in some of today in-demand tech skills such as cybersecurity, AI engineering, AI automation, data analytics, data science, data engineer, business analytics, and business analysis and HR analytics. Right. So I would like us to move into the first question for the day. So Kolade, are you still with me here? Hello, Kolade.
Yes.
All right, please can you turn on your video so I can yes, thank you. All right. So let's dive into the first question for today. Are you ready? Are you ready, Kolade?
Yes, very well. Trying to work on my video. I think I'm having a glitch with the video.
Okay.
Sorry for that. Might just give me
All
some
right, that's fine.
seconds.
So while we are waiting you fix that, I'll go ahead to ask the first question for the day. So the first question is, are certificates just expensive confidence boosters, or do they really separate top talent from the crowd? You know, the topic of our session today is, are certificates more valuable in tech? So the first question is, are certificates just expensive confidence boosters, or do they really truly separate top talent from the crowd?
All right, I want to know whether I can actually proceed with answering now.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, please, I want to confirm you can see my video.
Yes, I can see it clearly.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that. And I like to approach that from this angle. Now,
Okay.
I'm someone that have actually been privileged to um, get quite a number of certifications across quite a number of skills, and at the same time, again, be able to apply what I know in these certifications in real world execution. Now, I actually think this is one of those, like you said earlier, this is one of those questions where the truth sits right in the middle, and it's a bit uncomfortable for both sides. because on one hand, certificates are not just expensive confidence boosters. Now, they do have real value. They show structure, they show discipline, they show that someone don't just vibe their way through learning. They actually committed to understanding a body of knowledge and pass a recognized benchmark. Because when we talk about getting a certificate for something, you definitely have must have gone through a kind of training, a structured training, and the ability to stay through that training itself get you or earn you that certificate, which actually eventually prove that you're able to stay through something till the end. And in fields like I'll use cloud computing for example, cloud computing, cybersecurity, or data engineering, that foundation actually matters. You don't want someone just guessing their way through a production system, actually. And but on the flip side, and this is where it gets interesting, certifications don't automatically translate to competence in the real world, because
Hmm.
certification measure what you know, of course it does, but the real world tests is actually about what you can do when things are unclear, when the situation is actually messy or it's breaking. For instance, I actually get a certification in how to build or website development, and by the time bugs begin to eat a particular website, how do you solve that problem? That's beyond what certificate actually taught you. But when you go through training, many times you don't get to know everything about what you are being trained at the training. It gets real to you when you begin to get on the job, get on the role, get on what we can call execution itself. So, and that's where top talent really stands out. The top talent is not the person who knows all the answers. No, it's not someone that knows everything. I was telling somebody some couple of days back. I said you don't have to say, oh, the reason why you're actually good is because you know everything, you know all the answers. But the test of someone that is actually very good is being able to work with other people that
Hmm.
actually have things that fill up what you might not actually be able to offer, and you know how to get those things together to work effectively. So top talent is the person who can actually figure things out under pressure, the person who can debug when nothing makes sense, the person who can actually take theory and turn it into something that actually works. So I usually say this as a roundup on that. Certifications can open the door, and they can definitely boost your confidence, but they don't keep you in the room. They don't. What keeps you in the room is your ability to execute, ability to adapt, and I would say ability to solve real problems, actually. So, yes, they're valuable, but they are only a piece of a much bigger picture, which the real knowledge and execution comes to play. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kolade. That is an amazing answer. Like you really broke it down. So for those who are actually confused, oh, a certificate just expensive confidence builder. I'm sure you must have heard that. Kayode said, "Oh, a certificate can actually help you get there." Right? Yes, you get you have the certificate. Yes, with the certificate, the keepers can, they can, they can actually consider you for the job. But actually, what keeps you on top is your skills. Just like you said, what keeps you on top is your ability to work under pressure, ability to still deliver despite pressure, despite what you're actually going through. That is actually what keeps you on the top. Certificates will actually help you, yes. And every recruiter wants to be sure that, oh, you've passed through a training, or you did trainings in cybersecurity, data analysis, analytics, they want to see that. However, what would actually keep you on top, what would actually keep you going is right. Thank you so very much. Is your talent and your skills. So thank you so very much, Koladi, for that amazing answer. And let's proceed with the second question. Okay, if two candidates work in, just assume you're a recruiter, right? So if two candidates work in, one with tax certificate, one with a similar portfolio, who gets hired first and why?
All right. Actually, when I hearing about this now, this question is something I can relate very well with, because I've been privileged to assist in hiring process, And many times, I was talking to somebody, I think some couple of months back, how that, I have people say, oh, there are no jobs, there are no opportunities. And, I was on a particular interview platform, and I found that we had over about 60 people that came for the interview, and, just about 10, over a bit above 10 was actually employable. A lot of things. In fact, up until the point that we actually asked someone to boot a laptop and put on a particular software, and a software as simple as the WordPress, like Microsoft Word, sorry, the person could not actually put it on. It's as bad as that. The person very has the knowledge of what the person was coming to give, but as basic things as what if we have you to work on the document and you cannot. So this is something I actually could relate to practically. Now I like to answer this from a very practical perspective. Now, hiring is about reducing risk. Now, every time a company hires someone, they are making a bet. Is like a black market. They are making a bet. And the question is, who gives me more confidence that this bet will actually pay off? If I want to get a black market, at least I know I'm getting a black market that I can still trust to an extent. So now certification tells me you have studied. Yeah. Then it tells me you understand concepts, you understand the framework, maybe even best practices, you understand. But a portfolio, a strong portfolio tells me you've done the work. You've actually not just gotten the knowledge, you've done the work. Yes, you have the knowledge, but you've not just stayed with the knowledge and you're waiting for the best opportunity. In fact, I remember there was a time that I was privileged to talk to someone that wanted to come in on board as one of the company I worked with as a designer. And we practically saw that this guy had never worked for anybody before. He had never done anything for any company before, but he had a full portfolio of work he has done without being paid for it. Like he practically just think of a brand and he come up with designs, imaginary brand. And it's just like, okay, yeah, imagine I want to work for a food brand, a brand identity of a food brand. He craft the name, he would think of the name, he would think of, and he would work on the full identity. So we practically were now like we're not even just thinking of him not working for a company. We knew that this one has something to offer. So a portfolio shows me real projects, it shows me real decisions, and sometimes even real failures and how you handle them. And honestly, that last part is very important, the real failure, how you handled it. Because in the real world, things go wrong all the time. You can't avoid things going wrong. We're on this live right now. So just a couple of minutes ago, I was having issue with my video. That's a challenge. It happened all the time. But how are you able to get to now tell me that you're able to overcome a particular challenge? Your portfolio shows me that. The knowledge doesn't show me you can get the challenge on. The problem, the knowledge, the certificate showed me that, oh, you have the knowledge. But the portfolio showed me that you can actually overcome the knowledge problem that the knowledge actually gives you at every point in time. So if I'm choosing between the two, I'm I'm leaning towards the candidates with the killer portfolio. Now, because they've already demonstrated execution, and I'm being honest, I can actually hire someone that has just a certification, but has a full portfolio of work done with that knowledge, than someone that has like 100 certification and cannot tell me that he has done anything at all regarding the knowledge. So they moved from just I understand this to I actually can build something with this. So now, ideally, the stronger candidate has the both. Now, the stronger candidate actually has both certification and the portfolio. Someone who understands the fundamentals and also has the real work, real proof of work. Let me put it that way. Not just real work, real proof of work. So that's a very powerful combination. For instance, you have a certification and you have the proof of work. So if it gets to a real, or let me say, street choice, I will take demonstrated ability over theoretical validation at every single time. I'm not after the knowledge alone. I want to see the demonstrated ability over just the theory, because at the end of the day, companies don't hire knowledge, they hire results, they hire outcomes, they hire people who can come in and make things work. how can you take us from point A that we have been all along to the point that you think it's best deserving of our values as a company? That is someone that I want to come on board with to work on a project. So I'm going to go with someone that has a killer portfolio at every point in time. But it won't hurt at any point to have someone that have a certification and also a killer portfolio. Of course, someone that has a killer portfolio should also tell me that he has gone through some kind of training that shows that the portfolio is a result of, okay, I have been trained, now I've gotten on the job. So I think that's just going to be my stand on that.
Thank you so very much, Kolade, for that. And I would actually go with you. If I'm a recruiter, yes, I want to see your certificate. I want to be sure that you've actually passed through the training. I want to be sure that you've passed through the exposure, because training comes with exposure, it comes with opportunities. I want to be sure that you've actually passed through that stage. But what will actually get me hire you faster is your portfolio. Just like you said, I want to be sure that you can actually do what you said you can do. Certificate, anybody can bag a certificate, anybody can own a certificate, can buy it. But trust me, that portfolio you can't buy it, because the portfolio is you telling me what you can do. Your portfolio is you telling me, if you bring me into this company, I can take your company from a 10 to 100. So yes, that's why with Amdor Analytics, we are very different. We don't just train you, we actually help you build your portfolio. Make you have practical hands-on experience training that can actually serve, you can actually include in your portfolio. So we give you the opportunity to sell, we give you the opportunity to work on projects that can actually serve as your portfolio in real. So thank you so much, Olade. So the third question, right? With a rapid evolution of technology, can professionals ensure that both the certificate and skills remain relevant and not outdated?
So I didn't get that. The network was flickering.
All right. Okay, that's okay. So I'll take it back. My third question is, with a rapid evolution of technology, how can professionals ensure that both their certificates and skills remain relevant and not quickly outdated?
Okay. Okay. All right. Now, I think the biggest mindset shifts people need to make is this: learning is no longer a phase; it's a lifestyle. I believe that when you learn from the, like, it's actually from cradle to grave. Like, you don't stop learning. It's a lifestyle. So there's no point where you say, okay, I've arrived, I'm done learning. And in tech, the moment you stop evolving, now I've been quite updated with a lot of tech news and tech evolution and all that. The moment you stop learning, I've come to observe that the moment you stop learning, the moment you stop evolving, let me use that word, you start becoming outdated. You start becoming outdated. So the real strategy is not just continuous learning, but continuous application. Now, the real thing is you're not just learning continuously now, but continuous application. Now, because here is a mistake a lot of people make. I've seen it happen over the years. They consume a lot of information, but they don't use it. They take courses, they earn certificates, they watch tutorials, but they don't build anything with that knowledge. And knowledge that is not applied fades off quickly, very quickly, in any field. In any field. More importantly, more so, if a fast evolving and developing aspect like tech, where things run as quick as the speed of light. So, and you can't just stay there with, okay, this is what I knew when I started learning this particular
Yeah.
skill, and today I'm not moving, I'm not evolving, I'm not going further, I'm not going more and all that. So what works better is a cycle. I'll put it this way: a cycle, and I'll give us a cycle. Now, I believe in, you learn something, you apply it immediately, you
Mm.
break it, you fix it, and then you refine it. I'll go over that again. I believe in this cycle a lot. That's worked. But many times I see many people that are in tech that are actually giving into it do this all the time. Now, when you come to you learn something, you apply it immediately. Of course, break it, fix it, and then you refine it. It's going to be that's how you turn information into real skill. You get to um don't you're not challenged when there's a challenge. You're actually seeing a challenge as something that can actually make you more effective in what you're building. So another thing is staying close to reality. Staying close to reality. I believe that it's going to help professionals to stay relevant. Staying close to reality, not just trend on social media, but actual problems people are solving in the industry. Actual problem, because social media can be so loud with some information that you're not even that's not even what's going on in the inner circle of the industry itself. When it comes to the industry, we're talking about projects. So one of the ways to help with this is contributing to projects,
Mm.
experimenting with tools, and collaboration. I believe in collaboration over competition. When someone is doing better than you are, just collaborate.
Yeah.
Don't try to compete. Just try to get close. I remember there was a time I took a training some years back, I think 2019, a leadership school. I'll keep the name out of this. A leadership school, and I remembered the provost of the school told us something. Said, when you hate smart people, it shows you are not smart. When you see someone smart, you get close, because the smartness of someone can rub off on you by just being close. That eventually you are just a par. You are practically just as smart as the person is, even not even more, because there's something you are coming to meet the person with already. So I believe in collaboration when it comes to tech tech space itself. When it comes to professionals staying relevant, collaborate a lot. Get on projects. People reach out to you and say, I'm working on a particular thing, a particular project. Don't just be after, of course, money is important. It's not everybody like money. But the first thing is, how do I get into this with you? What can I offer? Of course, along the line, you talk about the monetary aspect of it, which is important, but collaborate a lot. And then there is a layer people often ignore: timeless skills. Now, things like problem solving, communication, adaptability, these are skills that don't expire, even when technologies do. Of course. So instead of chasing relevance, I think the goal is to build the habit of evolving. Once you have that habit, staying relevant a byproduct, becomes a byproduct, and something you can just, at the tap of your finger. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kolade. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm thanking you because you really actually broke it down a whole lot and it's really making sense, right? You said collaborate over competition. I think that's where a lot of people get it all wrong. You see someone who is smarter than you and you're already competing with the person, you're already silently, you don't need to compete, collaborate. Collaborate, get closer to the person, right? Get closer to the person. There are some things the person know that you do. Get closer so that you can actually tap from the person's grace, right? So that you can actually tap from the person's knowledge. So in the industry, everywhere, especially in the corporate firm, you see someone who's smarter, you see a colleague who is smarter, rather than trying to get closer to the person so that you can learn a thing or two. Silently you start competing, making competition. No, that won't make you smart. It won't make you grow. Collaborate, collaborate. Even if it doesn't mean you have to get paid. I understand everyone wants pay, they want to get paid. Yes, I want to get paid at all time. But then sometimes those matters a lot, and it will go a long way in one's journey. Right. Thank you very much, Kolade. So the first question is the tech industry quietly shifting towards show me what you can build instead of show me what you have passed.
Okay. Okay. I honestly think that the shifts has already happened. I really think that honestly, I think that the shift has happened. Now we are just in the middle of it. So not everyone has fully realized it yet. Of course, if you look at how hiring is evolving, it's very clear. More companies are using practical assessments, real world case studies, take home projects, things that actually simulate the job. I remember there was a particular time I applied for a role for a brand officer in a particular company. And considering my experience with designing and all, and that's something I do, like you mentioned earlier when we were talking about me. I remember one of the assessment I did was basically I was told to just work as though there was an event, and
Hmm.
there was just case studies that I was to replicate, as though I'm currently on board already, and we have something we have to do, and as a brand officer, I'm to get on it. So I believe that we have moved from it already. It's not really about what you've passed. Yes, many times we have seen what you've done, but in many cases, show me what you can actually do. Like, show me what you can actually build. And the reason is simple. They want to see how you think and how you execute, not just what you've memorized. Everybody can memorize anything. Many times you can just do copy and paste with some information, some things, but there is a way you can copy and paste what you are, like a real scenario happening within a particular space. You know, it happened like in Nigeria. I remember when I was back then in secondary school. I remember a lot of people normally do this then, like more like they call it impromptu debates. They just give you a topic at the instance, and they tell you to just talk on it immediately. And at that point, you're thinking of how to approach that particular topic instantly. That's beyond you preparing, then you go and debate. The other one look like it's getting you to be much more innovative and creative at the spot of it. So the question is, technology has actually made this shift inevitable. Technology has made it inevitable. I'm going to agree with that. Today, anyone can build something and showcase it. We have GitHub. I'm glad this is a tech space. We have GitHub. We have personal websites, open source contributions. Now, there's a level of transparency that didn't exist before. So the
Yeah.
question is no longer just what do you know. It's now what can you create with what you know, and that's a much other question to fake. Now, certification still matters in certain environments, especially structured or regulated industries. In fact, some companies will even tell you to submit your school certificate and all that. They might not even check it. But in a lot of modern tech roles, your ability to demonstrate value quickly is becoming the deciding factor. So, and honestly, I think that's a positive shift. It's not negative. It's not something that should fear, that should scare us away. That should, we should get scared about. It's a positive shift. It reward people who can actually do the work, not just talk about it. We have heard of talk, talk and talk and talk. Now we want to see what can be done, and I feel that's actually what's happening at the moment right now.
All right, thank you so very much. That's true. One thing I would add to what you said is the reason why the industry is quietly moving from what you can build instead of show me what you've passed is because they want to test your problem solving skills. They want to be sure that you're a problem solver because every organization wants problem solver, somebody who can solve organization's problem. So anyway, in any way at all you can, right? In any way you at all, you can actually contribute to solving the organization's problem. So they want to be sure you're a problem solver. Right. So that is one thing. That is why it has actually moved. The industry have actually moved to show me what you can build instead of what you have passed. So the last question for today, caller day. In a world of AI and rapid change, which ages faster, certification or skills?
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting because the answer is a bit nuanced. Now, actually, on the surface, certification definitely age faster. Now, they are often tied to specific tools, platform, or versions of technology. And in a world where AI is accelerating change, those things evolve very quickly. So a certification you earn today might lose some of its relevance in a relatively short time. In fact,
Hmm.
it might look as though, why did I gather all of this certification and all that and all that? I remember when I just joined LinkedIn as a young web president than I am now, because I'm still young. I remember then we were um, quite very quick to want to share, oh, I just got a certificate and all that and all that. And after a while, I just began to feel like people are really not even asking about this certificate per se. Yes, we need a certificate. Of course, I take a training. I have to. have a certification to it. I've taken it. I took a training today, earlier this morning before this podcast, and like I completed the training. Sorry, and I got a certification for it, which shows that I've certified what is expected of that skill I'm actually learning and all that. That's one of the things that made me say earlier that learning doesn't stop. You don't stop at learning, but so a certification you went today might actually just lose. It might take a short time for it just lose its relevance in a short time. But skills are not automatically saved either. They are not automatically saved either, because if your skill is just knowing how to use a specific tool without understanding the underlying concepts, then that skill can become obsolete just as fast as certification. So what actually lasts longer? That's the question we need to answer. Deep skills. I call it deep skills. Now, what actually lasts, the test of time? Things like critical thinking, understanding system, problem solving, like you said earlier, the ability to learn new tools quickly. Those don't expire. They don't. They evolve. They remain valuable. How do we say now that in 2015, 2013, all many people knew was, oh, I work on design with courage, or after a while people start using a lot of Photoshop to work, along the line. Fast forward 2025, 2026, we now have Affinity and other platform like that. And you ask a designer, can you design with Affinity? And say, what's Affinity? You don't even know it exists. So it's when you move, like you are actually someone that you're able to research what's going on. That doesn't expire. You are someone that
Mm,
is innovative, you're thinking, you're finding out. That doesn't expire. All of that don't expire. They don't expire. So the real difference isn't just certification versus skill, it's shallow versus deep. Yeah,
mm,
that's what I see as a real difference. So shallow knowledge age fast, but deep understanding age slowly. And in an
mm,
AI driven world that we are, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and the person was telling me that I was talking about Samsung, a particular Samsung brand, Ultra 26 power. I think that's the one we're talking about. We're just discussing. And I was like, I saw a video of how the camera of the phone zoomed into an aircraft that was in the sky, and it was clear, like it was visible, and it zoomed back into the car on the ground, and we could see that pan so quickly. Then he said something. He said, do I know that there is now AI, there is now artificial intelligence integrated into the cameras of some phones, that
yeah,
you know the moment he zoom in and he find out that, oh, that's an aircraft, it just automatically show me an aircraft that is closer. Like, I was like, that makes quite some sense. I've not thought about that in a while. And I went to research about it yesterday, trying to think about it. Is that really happening? Is that really going on? So in trying to find out about that, someone might think I don't really need to find out about that. I'm currently okay with information I have. You're going to way too fast. So in the AI driven world that we are, the people who will stay valuable are not the ones who can simply recall information, but the ones that can adapt, the one that can learn, the one that can apply that knowledge in new and unpredictable situations. That's the real advantage going forward. So I believe that right now it's really, what is the person that we're talking about, the people, in the world we are right now. Are you ready to go for deep skills? Are you ready to go for are you ready to go for evolving, find out what's actually happening part time? 2026 April, today, right now, April 16, 2026. By tomorrow, we might find out that there's something else about this platform we're using for this podcast that we need to find out. So I can't
yeah.
tell you what I knew about this platform today, 2026, April 16. That means tomorrow I have to find out more if I actually want to stay relevant. So it's really about, how fast you can evolve with what's going on by staying relevant with learning, by staying relevant with adapting and applying the knowledge in new and unpredictable situations. So I believe that actually the real advantage right now. And I think it's positive for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so very much, Colade. Thank you. Thank you for this amazing session. Thank you so very much. So, for those who have actually joined, if you've actually watched us to this point, thank you so much for giving us your time. And I'm the analytics. We're currently running a 90% scholarship discount offer. So, if you want to transition into tech, if you want to upgrade your skills, your maybe you want to transition into tech, into cybersecurity, AI engineering, AI automation, HR analytics, business analysis, and data science, data engineering, come to Amdo Analytics. Write down to our website www.amdoanalytics.io and check out of this chat Amdo Analytics. Check our social media handles. Actually comment on this place you're watching. Actually comment right now, right here, and somebody will respond to you. And you, even if you want to speak to one of our consultants, maybe you want to tour into the tech part career, tech field, but you're confused. You don't even know the particular course or training that suits you better. Don't worry. We offer free consultation. We would, draw a career map for you that best suits your career so you can start your career today. Remember, tech is the new oil money. So just in few seconds, maybe like 10 seconds, Caller Day, what advice, just 10 seconds, what advice do you have to those who wants to transition into tech? In just one sentence, what advice do you have for them?
I feel I would just say you need to actually transition into tech. I think that's just the advice. You just need
Yeah.
to. There's really no other option. Of course, there are other options. You can get there, but to be honest, at the age and time we are right now, you need to transition into tech, and you need to actually stay relevant. That's what I would just say.
Thank you so very much. You just heard that from a youth and career development expert. He said you need to transition into tech. So if you are still thinking, should I or should I not? You just heard that from the best person who is supposed to give you advice. You need to transition into tech. So thank you so very much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Kolade. Thank you. It was amazing having you
Welcome.
on board. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, everyone. Bye. See you in our next episode. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you very
Bye.
much. Yeah.